The Eocarcharia is described as one of the weirdest dinosaurs that we know Ingen ever cloned. It was actually found out very recently that Ingen even cloned the species at all, and we still really don't know why. Very little is actually known about Eocarcharia itself, besides the fact that it was a carcharodontosaur that lived in Niger, Africa. But thanks to the Ingen documents that we do have, we've learned not just about the clone itself, but also the creature in real life. The Ingen Eocarcharia first proved a theory that was going on for a while in the paleontological community about how theropod dinosaurs, when they are first born, have a light level of fluff on them. Well, we managed to get lucky enough to find an Eocarcharia adult and juvenile. Now, the adult also possesses a light level of feathering on it, however, this is for a reason we'll get into in a second. It's been proven over the time we've seen the juvenile grow up that they do lose their feathering as they grow. By the time that they're an adult, they lose this level of fluff. Speaking of the juveniles, you might notice that they only possess 2 fingers on each hand and not the 3 fingers that the adults have. Well, this is because the 3rd finger is so tiny that it's actually embedded within the skin. As it grows up, this finger will break out of the skin, which has given this finger the nickname of the blood finger. The adults themselves are very voracious hunters, and despite being only about 25 feet long, these animals have incredibly strong jaws that they use to tear apart much larger theropods, such as the Suchomimus. As for why the adult has feathers is an interesting story. It was discovered by scientists in 2021 that this Eocarcharia has a condition which causes it to not lose its feathers as it grows older. Some genes were not connected properly, and because of that, it still has the plumage. Eocarcharia lived in Africa in real life, so it's very unlikely that it had this sort of plumage in real life, especially as it got older. Now, some might suggest that the genome Ingen used may have been tampered with, and maybe bird DNA was put in it to where it has feathers. However, after reviewing it, there has been no bird DNA found in the Eocarcharia whatsoever. But many scientists still commemorate the Eocarcharia for being one to prove this theory about the youngsters and feathers. It's also shown that theropods were not bad parents at all, as the Eocarcharia has stayed with its young for God knows how long at this point. The baby is estimated to be several months old, and yet the mother still stays with it. Now, that doesn't mean the youngsters don't have predators. Creatures like this Dilophosaurus are regulars here trying to get a bite at the youngster. But of course, the adult stands in the way. A good parent doesn't back down. And the Eocarcharia is one hell of a parent. The Ingen records do not talk much about how Eocarcharia was at all a good parent. However, in recent searches, it's been shown that they are very defensive over their young. Notably, though, it does talk about how the Eocarcharia only lays up to 2 to 3 eggs in each clutch. This means that if a predator does try and attack a young Eocarcharia, the parents are definitely going to be more on target with it. With strong serrated teeth and an even stronger bite, it has no problem taking down small fodder. And that's all the information we have on the Eocarcharia. Despite the limited amount of info we have on it in real life, the Ingen variety has given us a very good look at what it was like. Despite being very obscure, its contributions to paleontology will never be overlooked. Next time we'll be looking at a much smaller carnivore, but as always, if something chases you, run.